Alright, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to set a dirt hole set. I got a trail going this way, trail's coming this way, so we're going to put in a foothold trap right here. First thing you got to do is you got to get your gloves. Never touch a trap with bare hands. And get your scent all over it, animals will dig it up. Next thing you know, you're not catching anything. So I take my little tool here, and I'm going to go ahead and clean out some dirt, clean out some leaves to make my trap bed. So we're going to go ahead and get all these leaves out of here. I just kind of brush them all off to the side, make it look like something's digging. Now I got to make my trap bed. So what I use for traps is I use a Bridger number 2. So for your trap, you got your dog here, you got your pan here. The pan is what the animal will step on to activate the trap. First thing I do is I test fire my traps twice, just to make sure they're going to go off. Open up the jaws, put the dog over, just like that. Oh, just like that. Now when you're looking at your trap, you want your pan and your jaws to be level. So test fire it, you lift up that one, goes off. Okay, that's good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my tool here, and I'm going to dig out my trap bed. Now you got to be able to bed your traps so they don't move. So I'm going to dig out a little bit of dirt here, get some of these vines and stuff out of the way. Just like that, nice little flat bed. I'm going to set my trap. And we're going to make sure that we can get a good bedding. When you put the trap down in here, in the dirt, you don't want it to move. See how, if you see it moving like that, you got to pack dirt around it to make it secure. But before I do that, I got to anchor it in the ground. So I'm going to set it off again. And now I'm going to take my anchor and my stake driver here. Stake driver and anchor. And I'm going to anchor this in the ground. So we're going to take it, and we're going to push it in. And we're going to hold the chain in the wire. And we're going to tap that into the ground. You got to keep tension on the cable while you're hammering it in, so it gets down into the ground. And I think I hit a rock, but we're going to keep going. There we go. Hammer that down. We're going to pull the stake driver out. Now to anchor this, you're going to grab your trap and you're going to pull up, and that sets the anchor, so that's not coming out of the ground anytime soon. Okay. Now we're going to push this down in the hole. We're going to dig this out a little more just so the chain can sit in the dirt and it's not sitting on the trap's not sitting on the chain. Just like that. Push some dirt around it. Now we're going to set the trap. We're going to set the trap. Push the pan down, push the dog down. We're going to level that. I'm going to look at it. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to bed the trap. So we're going to get down and we're going to push this in. Pack down the dirt. Get it nice and set. Pack dirt around it. Just whatever you do, make sure you don't hit the pan, because if you get your finger caught in there, it's not going to feel good. It might break a finger, it might not, but it's not going to feel good. Now you can see I'm pounding down the dirt around the outside of the trap. Now when you do that, you're going to get dirt inside it, so you want to make sure you brush all that out. Get any sticks or rocks out of the way. And then what I like to do is, once I have it bedded, I like to tap on it. If that trap moves, it's not bedded right. Right now you can see it's wiggling. So now I got to set it deeper to make sure that if an animal steps on the trap isn't going to move. If this trap moves when an animal steps on it, it's going to completely dig up that trap, especially a raccoon. Raccoons are notorious for digging up traps. So now we're going to push this down, and we can see that there's some dirt under here getting underneath the pan, which you don't want. So once I'm content that yeah, this dirt ain't packing right. So what I'm going to have to do is, since it's not packing right, is I'm going to have to lift it up out where I had it, and we're going to dig this out a little more, a little smaller of an area, just like this, because this shit just doesn't want to fucking cooperate this morning. We're going to get all the dirt out of there, and then we're going to stick it in just like that, and we're going to pack dirt around it. There we go. That's a good pack. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Just like this. We're going to pack that down. Got a little bit here to pack. Now when you're doing this, you want to make sure that if there's any rocks in the area of your trap, you get rid of them. You don't want rocks in there because that can interfere with the jaws. If something steps in it, you might not catch it because of a rock. So there we go. Now get in here, get all this dirt out. Now that's a good, nice, solid bedded trap. Here, let me scroll down on this so you can see it. Right? If you look, that is a nicely bedded trap. You tap it, it doesn't move. That's what you want. So now we're going to come down this way. Now what we got to do is we got to figure out the placement for our dirt hole. So that's where we're going to put our bait. So I'm going to measure the width of my thumb to my pinky, and that's where I'm going to put my dirt hole set. Now, with where I am right now, I know for a fact I have a hard time putting dirt holes in here. I set this tree every year, and I always catch stuff out of it. Problem is, I might not be able to get a very deep dirt hole. Rock, rock, rock. Yeah, that's a real shitty dirt hole, but we'll make it work. I like to go about 8-9 inches on my dirt holes. But today, it looks like we're only going about 6, which is fine. So now, I gotta finish. I gotta finish work. Now, one of the things you always want to do is you want to cover your pan, because you got to put dirt on top of it, and you don't want dirt getting under your pan. So I use just regular old wax paper. You can buy it at the dollar store. A whole roll will last you forever. So I take it, tear a nice square, and then you crumble it up with some dirt. Take it, put some dirt in there. That gets any kind of contaminated smell off of there. It makes it smell like the dirt. Ah, shit, I just ripped it. Don't think that's gonna work. Nope, not gonna work. So now I gotta go to this one, put it in some dirt, get all those smells off of it, just like that. And then you cover up the trap with it. All right, I forgot my dirt bucket. I will be right back. All right, now I'm back. I got my dirt bucket. Next thing I need is my little grater. And what we're going to do is we're going to get some of this dirt that we dug up. Just like that. And now we're going to put it on top of the wax paper, blend it in. And you want to do this until you don't see any wax paper. Just like that. See that? No more wax paper. And just a little more just to give it a little extra. And that blends in real nicely with the dirt. And I like to take the extra dirt, dump it up there by the bait hole. And I smooth this out, make it look as natural as possible. Then I take my glove and I pull the fingers out. And I ball the fingers up inside. And I use this to kind of level it out. Make sure everything is good to go. Get that leaf out of here. Come on. There we go. Now, once I'm done there, I take my gloves off because I got to bait the hole and I got to put some lure down, and I don't want those smells on my gloves when I'm touching the traps, because again, they'll dig it up. So now I get my bait. My bait is nothing more than it's a commercial meat bait. It's made by Hoosier Trapper Supply. It's called Topdog Predator bait. So I take the bait, I grab a stick, and I put some bait in the hole. Put some bait in the hole, and I take the stick. It's got that bait smell on it. I stick it right there. Now, this set is primarily for red fox and raccoon. So, I'm going to take some red fox urine and I'm going to spray it right on that dirt we put there. And a little trail away. Then, I'm going to flip open my box and I've got a lure, again from Hoosier Trapper Supply. It's a fox gland lure. It's called Vixen Elixir. It's to bring in male red fox. And I'm going to stick that, just a couple drops, right there on that little root sticking up. And that's going to work the scent and send that smell throughout this whole area. And that right there is how I'd set a dirt hole set for my trap line.